from Xfinity. Dan Dibley back in the captain's seat. What's happening, Dibbers? Wow. Driving on a big victory Monday?
Win the big days. Dibs, I need you to win the big days. Yeah, my guy, Marky Willard, is out. Personal day, big day for Mark. And so when we need to come through with a big day, who do we go to? But my main man, Larry Krueger, stepping in. Larry and I spent some time last night at the game, press row. I was in the second row. Your producer, Sam Lubman, somehow finding his way into the front row. Sir Chatterlot, we call him.
Wow.
Yeah, Chatterbox Sam Lubman.
Wow.
Sam, it's okay to take a play off, brother.
I didn't know I was talking that much.
The station was well represented, by the way,
indeed.
at the game yesterday.
Really?
Very well represented. The great Damon Bruce was in the house.
Oh, nice.
I heard you were there.
Oh, yeah. Sitting in the end zone. I was
Lucas was there.
I was behind you. Lucas was in the car. I drove him down. And so we were all, I hate to do this today, but like coming on, it took an hour from the freeway exit.
Oh, no, we'll get to that.
To the stadium.
We'll get to that because
I've been about the ingress for a long time. I've been arguing about it. And this is what I don't understand. It's been 10 years. How have we not ironed this out? It's very frustrating.
I'll tell you how, and that's coming up in 7 minutes as we tell a tale of Larry Krueger and an embarrassment that took place for the Krueger. All Krugers everywhere embarrassed. But let's stay in the space of Sam Lubman getting his seat.
My bad.
And me, Dan Dibley, 20 years his elder, 25 years in the business, standing.
Here. Squirt.
Dan Dibley here, standing, unable to get a seat. And I understand that, Damon, the flex moment of the show, Lucas.
Did he have a throne or a seat?
He had a seat.
Okay.
John Dickinson gets a seat. He works.
Okay.
Alex, I think Dickerson, our great social media.
Espinoza.
Dickerson is the former left fielder for the Giants.
Thank you, Sam. I'll get to you in a minute.
Hit.
And I don't think either of them can hit, actually.
Espinoza had a seat. Espinoza was near you. Krueger gets a seat. He's always there. I know that I'm a bubble guy. I don't necessarily need a seat.
I saw
That's
Damon
crazy.
near the V in Morabito. So there's two Morabitos that the names are underneath the press box.
Correct.
And it's usually one of you guys is near the V.
Well, I mean, occasionally it's me.
Yes.
But when D. Bruce is going to a game, he will flex. Damon Bruce is not going to seat hunt.
Yeah.
I myself, I don't mind. Like, I was 4 seats away from you.
Yes.
There were 3 empties that were like Niner social
Scouts
media,
or
whatever,
social
employees.
media.
They're not showing up. I'm fine. I sat there for the first half.
Cool.
Sat in 111 for the second half.
Nice.
With the great Steve Rabb and the rest of my crew.
Nice.
But I heard this cacophony, this voice the entire first half, and I looked down, and it's Sam Lubman just chatting away like he's at a sorority social with the Alpha Fees.
I mean, there's
Sam,
a lot of football
please
talk
explain.
down there. Well, you see, Dibs, the reason I got a seat is because I showed up at around 11:30 because I knew there's going to be a very tight crunch for these open seats, and I wanted to make sure I got one. So I showed up early, and I made the move.
Sam, how many games were you at this year in the press box?
I think that was my 4th one that I made it to.
4th. Okay. I was just curious.
So, no, what I
I'm
did.
just happy a producer went down to a game.
I've never been in a press box.
It was hell to get in yesterday, by the way.
It was.
I mean, hellish to get in.
bad.
Larry, it took me 1 hour to go from the exit ramp
Let
off.
Larry tell a story because Larry, as you know, is a part of our great pregame show.
couldn't believe it.
With
Which
Lorenzo
actually
Neal.
happens before the game, but you actually have to show
In
up on
theory.
time. And I didn't realize that because I was about an hour
So
late.
what time's the pregame show start, Larry?
Well, it's variable. It depends on what time the game starts. But Dibs, yesterday started at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I got there at about 5 to 2.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy. I got on the Great America Parkway at 11:45, and just
It didn't move.
it was just parked.
It did not move.
But,
And
yeah,
it's
I was on there. So Shasky happened to be right behind me. Or actually, he was in front of me. And I got into the bike lane.
My wife got so mad.
Yeah, I got into the bike lane because I'm beating traffic, dude. You got to do what you got to do.
She hates when I cut people off.
Right.
You
I
went in the bike lane?
Hell yeah.
Hey, it was all.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
king is here.
I had a 115 hit with Larry Krueger, so I'm like, I got to get to the
No,
hit.
you didn't. Larry didn't make it to the 115 hit.
I would have driven on the freaking sidewalk to get there.
Lucas calls me. It's like, well, Larry's not going to be there. You could skip it. And I was like, fine, I'll skip it. But I didn't get parked. Let me see. It was about 50 minutes.
We didn't park
till
till 1:30. I got off the exit ramp at like 12,
Right.
12:15, and we didn't park till 1:30.
It was
bad.
in traffic like that. Like when I'm leaving the stadium and they got the cones, so you have to go into your left lane and go around, or you can go to the right lane where you go straight to the freeway. And I always stop, and it moves the cones. We skirt through the cones, and we're out, and we're on the freeway. Got to do what you got to do down there. Because it's a mess. It's a nightmare.
I want to
Do
get
you
back to
ever
the
feel
press
like
box.
when you do that you're being incredibly selfish to the other?
I don't
know.
give a damn.
You don't think about that.
Dan, this is
We got
what I-
places to be.
You have no one else has places
Quite
to
honestly,
be.
on
no,
Grand
no,
Theft
no,
Auto,
no one
man.
else has places
I
to
grew
be.
up
I
on-
get
This is the
that.
way I
I grew
look
up
at
on
it.
Grand Theft Auto. I'm not waiting around.
No, I get
gotta
that.
go.
We made a
I
big
get
deal
that.
about Candlestick getting in and out, right? We did. We made a big deal. What I don't understand, and I get, Joe, when 50, 60,000 people leave simultaneously, you're going to have issues. For sure. How have we not figured out the ways to get out of the stadium? Because every week it changes. The cones and how they set up the cones
No,
change.
that's the worst part. It changes
Oh, yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
And so I don't even blame the Niners at this point. It's the event staff and the CHP and all the different police that come together. How they get you to your freeway and which way they funnel you changes week to week.
What do we know about the relationship between the 49ers and the city of Santa Clara?
It's not the Niners' fault. I'm
what do we know
convinced.
about the relationship?
It's not good.
It's not good.
But,
so
like-
I think about, yesterday's a great example because you're right. The cone zone,
Committee planning.
the pattern, it changes every
It's
week.
nightmare.
Yesterday I had to go 3 lefts to make a right. I had to do 2 U-turns.
To get onto
all of a
Montague
sudden,
Expressway?
I'm on some frontage road trying to get to God knows where. I don't even know where I was. I might have been in Sunnyvale, Larry, and it's 9 o'clock, and I'm just trying to get home.
When I was leaving the stadium, I get to my car, parked at the
is so
Hilton,
good.
right? So I had to walk across the massive parking lot.
It's a long walk.
I get
Oh,
to
we
the
used to do
car.
that walk.
I get to the car.
No.
The
By
only
the way,
car.
hold on real quick. Did you have the chicken tenders at the Hilton?
Yes, I did.
They're so good.
The
barbecue sauce?
Very
Oh,
strong.
my God.
Very strong. It's all
Before you tell your story, the walk of game, it's
call
not
it
a walk of shame
back sweat.
coming off a win, though.
Yeah.
If you lose that game,
it's horrible.
the walk all the way across that lot's a whole different story. But
Might
listen
as
to this
well have
story.
been a desert.
Dude.
So I walk across. There's a couple guys fighting. They're throwing bottles at each other in the parking lot.
Whoa.
Okay. So I'm like, maybe I'll steer clear of them. So I'm walking diagonally to get to the Hilton. I get to the Hilton. I see my car. It's a totally empty parking lot, except there's a truck on my driver's side, parked right next to it. So I got to get in on the
Oh, my
other side.
God.
But at first I'm like, you know what? I'll unlock it through the driver's
Right.
side. So I scooch in, pop the door, turn it on. All of a sudden, I hear this. It's a raccoon standing right there. There's a raccoon. I'm like, jump back. I'm scrubbing.
That's how you get rabies.
Wasn't the most manly moment. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Hey, raccoons are no joke.
No, seriously.
They will screw you up.
seriously. And this thing had that claws. Now I'm like, looking, where's the
Oh, my
raccoon? I'm
God.
climbing through the passenger
That's
side.
so great.
It was the most animated Lowe's ever been because we were listening in the pregame and he was fired up. I mean,
Yeah,
Lowe
yeah.
was ready to play yesterday.
No doubt.
Lowe was.
No
Lowe's
doubt.
always fired up.
And I don't want to make this all about the negativity of the ingress and the
What a
egress
great
because once you got there, and I got there at about 3:23,
Oh,
just in
wow,
time
you
for the
barely
end.
made it in.
I left my house over in the 925 at 1, and by the
That's plenty of time, you would
so
think.
I tried to get into the green lot, and granted, I was late.
Yeah.
Green lot's full.
So where'd you
okay.
go?
So they say go to red 1.
I don't even know where that is.
Nor do I, Joe. They go down here and take 2 rights and a left, and you'll be there. 2 rights and a left. Half an hour later, I get to the red lot. Red 1. Red 1's full. Go to blue 3.
No.
I'm like, where the blank is blue 3?
Yeah.
Go down here, take a U-turn, go left, 2 rights, and you're there. I do all that. Half an hour later, I get to blue 3. Blue 3 is closed. So now I see blue 1, and I go to blue 1, and the guy's like, hey, you're supposed to be in green 1. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it.
I know that move.
It's a dirt
I'm
lot.
there.
I don't even know where I am. I just want to put my car in park.
Yes.
And start the walk.
And just get out and go.
That's it.
I know.
So you got to be selfish at Levi Stadium.
Okay.
Because of that situation. You're making all
I
these
guess.
moves. You got to
I guess.
just pull over,
I
just
say,
park somewhere.
but this
boom.
is what I say. Like my number one thing. I want to get into the game because this is. The
game was
People don't
incredible.
want to hear this talk.
No.
But here's the big thing. This is what I say. The people setting up the lot and the ingress, egress toward the freeways stuff. It's very crucial. Have you ever been to a sporting event? Do you understand how to get in and out? Because if you did, you'd realize the way they've got it set up is just a nightmare.
It's a cluster.
It's a complete nightmare. People coming across, walking. You got pedestrians. You got people. It's a free-for-all. It's an absolute free-for-all.
What I want
and
for
it
my
drives me
birthday,
crazy.
and you guys can write this down in case you want to get me a
Yeah.
gift. I want to get a
Helicopter?
couple of those orange wands with lights in them.
Oh, my God.
So I can just stand there with a vest on.
And then just go like this.
Oh my God, I'd just be pointing for people.
You're like a third base coach.
Dude,
You're just waving
exactly.
people through.
Just be pointing at people. No. You can't go straight on the freeway. You got to go down here 3/4 of a mile.
Well,
Unless you're Bonte.
since you're on a roll right now, Divs, how was the press box spread yesterday?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Actually,
What was it?
It was pork, and I was talking to Patrick Willis in line. You know, I'm waiting in line. I was late, so I had to hurry up and get my food. And I turn around, and I'm like, that guy's quite fit. Hey, it's Patrick Willis. Hey, P. Willie. Introduced myself. Used the station name, by the way, as you should, Bonte. Do it for all of us.
First name basis, man.
Squirt. You're better than that. Think about all the rest of us.
Kruger,
Think about Sam
I don't
Love.
know.
Promote
Bonte
the
Hill,
brand.
Host of NBC Sports Bay Area Warriors
I don't
pre-
know.
and post-game live in the
Forget
morning.
the-
Russ.
forget TV.
Hey, I'm Bonte.
Hey, Bonte Hill, 95
I
I
think you
Yeah.
just go with the first name and just have confidence that it will carry the
not
day.
even that. Yeah, just hey, I'm Bonte. You
It's
don't need
not
to know me
about
as anything
him.
else.
It's about the overall collective because people who are like, oh my God, that's Bonte. Oh, that's right. 95.7 the game. Maybe I'll tune in. I've got a meter. Look. And maybe it would help
Yeah.
the entire brand.
Yeah,
Again, the
I'm
selfishness.
not
Have you
about
met
that.
the
anyone with
cone
a beard?
moving.
This guy's selfish in terms of that.
Yeah, me
But
neither.
I'm in traffic.
No, I'm
you
a
got
giver.
70,000 people trying to get
No,
places.
no.
You got to be selfish. If
I'm
you're
a
not,
giver.
you're going to let people pass you by. They're going to cut you off going into the parking lot. You have to be kind of psycho.
His girl had her hand out the window. I was behind them. She waved me in so that
Oh, yeah, I told her to
could
do it.
come through. It was
That's how
so
you do
funny.
it.
And my
You
wife goes,
gotta-
"You're not going to do that." I go, "We're going to do that." And then we
Yeah,
cut in,
see-
and then immediately after, the CHP rolled up on a motorcycle and cut off all the cutoffs, if you will.
Right.
I've never met Anna, but I'll tell you this: I would never cross her.
No.
From what I know of Anna, dude. I mean,
She's a boss. See,
if
I
she's
love riding
waving
with her.
me in,
Yeah.
I'm definitely
Dude, she
cutting
runs,
in.
hey, Anna, get that cone. Let's skirt through. Oh, yeah, I got no problem. She, boom, 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 we're out. Like, that's a rider.
She probably has her own orange wand.
Buddy and Clyde.
Environment at the game. I told him I thought it was the best Levi's because the anxiety of all the
Too many
playoff games-
Cowboy fans, though.
There's a lot of blue in there.
Too
I
many
thought it
Cowboy
had
fans.
85-15
Yeah,
the mix.
you know
and they
what?
were loud.
I think that's what you're going to get in this rivalry. There was a lot of Niner fans in
there's
Jerry's
just a
World
lot of
last year.
Cowboys.
I know.
There's a lot of Bay Area Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
They're
A
from all over the
lot.
place.
I mean, when the Cowboys scored the touchdown,
It was loud.
Oh, it was loud.
I'm looking around and it seemed like the entire stadium was
and-
cheering.
But also from the press box, the opposite side had all the Cowboy fans. There were none on the press box side.
Yeah,
it was
okay.
all
Fans
red.
Sun
usually
side
do.
had the
Yeah,
Cowboy
right.
fans.
Yes,
So
that's
I'm
what
looking
they were.
right
But
at
also
them.
their
Yeah.
defensive chants were loud. They were when they
Yeah,
were chanting
for
defense
sure.
and the Niners were, faced with a third down or whatever. You hear the defensive chants, and I'm like, man, Cowboy fans are representing.
Yeah.
A lot of Roger Staubach jerseys. A lot
I
of Des
respected
Bryant.
it. Yeah,
I respect it.
I did too. I mean, I thought it was great, and I didn't see the same level of acrimony that you did in the post game. Section 111, there was a bunch of Cowboy fans, and there was some fun, friendly banter,
Yeah,
some back
exactly.
and forth, nothing over the line. And that game, though, 60 minutes of just real
Tension.
playoff tension because
I loved it.
When kickers collide, and there was never a moment where you thought, oh, okay, until Dallas lined up in that WTF
I've
formation.
never seen that.
At the very end, you mean the last
Right?
play?
Was that like the swinging gate, Larry? You're an X's and
I
O's
have
guy.
no
What do you
idea
call
what
that?
that was.
Well, so the coach next to us, so we got the San Ramon Valley High School coach. He's right now. I literally call him coach, right? And he's like, well, Zeke's going to be the covered up guy. He's going to snap the ball. Blast him. This is what he says. He's like, just blast him. And I'm like, well, he's like, why are they playing off? They called the timeout, and then the Niners adjusted, and all of a sudden Zeke hikes it, and he gets blasted. I said, what was the play even going to be? Hook and ladder?
Yeah, seriously.
What was it?
Swinging
2
gate.
years in a row, they've had a very questionable final play to the game.
I know. Last year, they couldn't get the ball
Right.
down
It's
in
like-
time.
But
Schultz-
Schultz was like, they're going to have a chance, Jim. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Underrated
Oh,
play.
no.
And Schultz not going out of bounds properly. Like Schultz has got to get out of bounds properly.
He didn't get his feet down.
No, but on the one where the clock kept ticking,
Oh,
they wasted
yeah.
at least 15 seconds on that play.
Well, how about this? If Elijah gets out, doesn't go
It's
out.
such a hard play.
I mean,
he's
that
towing
was-
the line. I wanted him to just slide.
Oh.
You know?
But you know what? I love the way how Shanahan used Elijah to
call.
finish.
Yep.
Because he's never fumbled. I don't. Maybe if he's fumbled once, I don't think he never fumbles. And he's so good at pick and sliding that extra
Yep.
yard or two.
Yep.
I love Elijah as a finisher.
Kruger, the word I was using today was trust. I thought Shanahan trusted the
down.
defense to keep them in the game. He's very conservative on offense. Didn't want to put Brock in a bad situation against a fast defense. But when it came down to it on that second to last drive the 49ers had, a couple third downs, Shanahan goes empty and lets Brock throw it. He let him throw it on the first down on that drive, and they eat up 8 minutes off the clock. They get the ball with 11 minutes and 3 seconds left. Cowboys get it back.
I didn't love him throwing it on that I think it was 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. They go empty, and he throws it when all you have to do is run it and run the clock. Yeah. And he went empty, and I was like,
my jaw dropped.
But I thought in critical situations, Shanahan trusted Brock to make a play.
It was interesting how Shanahan was alternately conservative and
aggressive,
as you said, kind of giving Brock a chance. Why was he punting in the first half from the 38-yard line?
Because it was a 55-yard field goal. Because that was my guess. We're in the seats.
That just seemed really conservative.
Was that a 55-yard field goal attempt? That would have been.
It would have been a 55-yard field goal.
Wisnowski kicks it into the end zone.
Right.
Well, they had a chance to down it though because he got the bounce inside the 5.
Danny Gray is not a gunner. Like I like Danny Gray. Like how many times has he played special teams in his life?
I thought it was.
He did make a big tackle against Seattle last week on coverage units. But the thing, I wanted to see them go for it there. Right. I mean, I don't know. But
the 55 or just go for it on 4th down? Because I guess early on you're playing a field position game. Your defense is humming. You want to try to pin Dallas deep. I didn't have too much of an issue with not kicking a field goal.
My sense was that Shanahan got a feel for that game early on, which was the Niners' offensive line was not overmatched, but Dallas was having their way.
I thought so.
The Niners couldn't run it, and Brock had no time to throw it. And on the other side, the Niners' defense, other than CeeDee Lamb, can we maybe get a double team every now and again? They were dominating Dallas. So I think Shanahan saw that game as a rock fight and thought, I love my kicker, I love my punter, and I love my defense. Let's go ahead and try to win this thing low scoring.
To your point, like they get the ball back right before halftime. I don't know how much time there was. They run the ball first play. They get like an 8 or 9 yard run. It's like, okay, here we go. And then they're clicking all this time off. And I go, all right, I understand you don't want to give it back to Dak here, but like, let's show a little aggression. This is a time where they're a little gassed. Let's do something. And he hits Jawan Jennings on that nice throw. 12 seconds left. I'm thinking, all right, maybe one play. Let's kick the field goal. They run the 2 plays and then the field goal. And on the second,
they got a favorable clock operator. If that had proved Dallas, it was halftime.
Were you not thinking the same thing? I was thinking you are flirting with fire here. Kick the field goal.
Well,
7 seconds.
That last second seemed like it lasted a long time. I mean, it's just like I'm sitting there going, what? Are they going to let this whole thing
scrambles
clip down?
He scrambles up and then throws to the opposite side of the field.
I know. And look, he was kind of doing it at a slow pace. Yes. I'm like, hurry up!
Yes. Also, just on that drive, like I know they hit Jawan Jennings deep on the crosser route that got him in the field goal position, but earlier in that drive, just Shanahan just seemed unsure of himself, and I'm thinking, well, Dallas gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Where's the urgency here? I had Super Bowl 54 flashbacks.
Seriously, I agree. I thought the Niners have gotten it their way, their script, which is they get the ball in the second half.
Double up.
That it's like that's almost like the way they want to play. Yeah. I mean, it's like they almost look uncomfortable if you don't allow them to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't seem. It seemed like he had two different thoughts. Like, hey, we don't want them to have the ball, but we want to score, but they're going to have the ball,
and we're going to let this clock just.
Well, they completed a pass. Down. There was 30 seconds, and then they let like 4 seconds go off. They go, you know what? Now we'll call. And I'm yelling, timeout, because they had all 3 in there. Anyway, I was very frustrated with the clock manager. They got the field goal, which was very lucky.
Last week, too, where they end up scoring, I thought he let 40 seconds go off the clock with Seattle right before halftime. I'm like, timeout. But to Brock's credit, to Shanahan's credit, they were able to score on those possessions.
Shanahan
still, you played it close.
6-2 in the playoffs.
That's incredible.
And Shanahan said in the post game that his number one concern was not giving Dallas the ball back at the end of the half in them having the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
And I heard that when I was, I think I was on Tasman, or I'm not sure. maybe I was making a left on. God knows where I was.
So
but
you said the 6-6 wins. Harbaugh obviously had the 3 straight years. They were incredible. But I am a little surprised. They've won 6. Now, they've been in the wild card more, and there's more rounds, I guess, because there's only the 1 bye. This has been more impressive than what Harbaugh did, which is a wild sentence to say out loud.
You talking about the entire regime of Shanahan?
The Shanahan regime and their appearances in the playoffs, to me, have been even more impressive than the Harbaugh ones. The New Orleans game was incredible. But that New York Giant game was such a letdown. They had the better team. They should have won that game.
Well, you can't do
it was
anything when your quarterback doesn't give his playmakers a chance to make plays.
Well, my big argument with Harbaugh was, I was sitting next to Damon in New Orleans. You cannot call a timeout when you have old Pollard, old Ed Reed, old Ray Lewis at the end of a drive in the fourth quarter. They're all gassed. Everybody's grabbing their pads, and you're sitting there calling a timeout and not handing the ball to Frank Gore and throwing fades to Crabtree.
Or running Kaepernick.
In a lot of ways, exactly.
That was
going
to be a
touchdown. Or run
that was
Gore.
going to be a touchdown. The delay game in that
I'm
Super
over
Bowl.
it, as you can say.
No, I'm not
Never.
I'm not over. I watched that game during the pandemic. True story, Larry. It was on NFL Network during the pandemic. And I'm watching the game with my godbrother, Mo Money. And I'm sitting there watching it. He's like, you got me watching this game. So then the fourth quarter comes, and I was like, hey, man, I'm about to hit the hay. He was like, no. You got to ride this out. You got to ride it out. I'm like, no, I'm trying to just go to sleep. I got work. And I was no. So we end up watching that game, and it's just
Randy Moss gave the least amount of effort on an interception I've ever seen in my life. And I said right then there, I'm ever coming back to the Niners.
The same week he said he was the greatest receiver ever.
Anytime Randy Moss ever publicly states that he's the greatest receiver ever, people ought to show that totally weak effort in the Super Bowl.
His whole year as a Raider. That's the thing.
Or maybe pushing the meter maid five blocks with his car. Maybe that
we could dwell on that loss forever, but the thing I take away from last night was Niners get the ball back, and they're up 16-12, and they need to kill clock.
That drive.
And they just go on that to me is classic Shanahan football. Granted, it ends in a field goal. Who cares? You took 8 minutes off the clock. You sucked the life out of that game, and it was Eli Mitchell. You mentioned it, Elijah Mitchell. Pound the rock. That's Niner football encapsulated. Yeah, Dallas gets it back with a chance, but down 7, and the Niners able to just dominate from there. That was incredible.
So the George Kittle thing, we were talking about this. He doesn't really have like a playoff signature moment. And last night he had obviously the seam route catch in the first quarter, which was a really nice throw by Bro. I thought it was maybe his best throw of the night in terms of like fitting it into a window. And then he has that unbelievable catch. From my angle, it looks like he's going to get his head taken off.
The second on this after he tipped it to himself.
The bubble one, it looks like he's going to get blown up.
Old NFL, he would have gotten.
He would have got whipped.
Absolutely.
Diggs whipped.
And then I thought he was going to get picked. Because, like, you got guys going into both directions. That was the one play they had to have in that moment. They needed something to happen.
Those Kittle plays, I thought,
were huge.
Came at critical spots. The first one got the Niners offense jump-started when the Cowboys were dominating the line of scrimmage. They were getting in the backfield. And then that catch that you speak of was a critical at the Ray fumbles. Cowboys tie it.
He comes running
Niners
up.
punt. Yeah.
He also was awesome, I thought, yesterday as a blocker.
Yep.
Dan Quinn had the run blitzes going. He knows Shanahan's offense. They ran those run blitzes, and they just were perfect.
Yep.
I mean, if I saw Dan Quinn today, I'd tip my cap to him because he really kept Dallas in it.
DeMarcus Lawrence kept the edge, too. Him and Micah Parsons set the edge so well. It's the first team I've seen stop them from getting to the outside consistently. They were fantastic.
Yeah, and they forced them to run inside. Yeah. And the Eagles, I don't know about you guys, but I thought the Eagles looked incredibly sharp on Saturday.
They look incredible.
How much of that was the G-men being just a bad team hitting the end, or how much of that? But I'll say this, and I know Nahagian tweeted that he loved it, but I think Sirianni's a joke.
Oh, my gosh.
Tom Landry, Vince Lombardi, Bill Walsh, none of these guys could coach circles around Nick Sirianni.
And he's running
none
in
of
the
them
end
are
zone.
mugging for the camera and chest bumping.
It's
He
2022, though.
pulled that Sean McVay, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, my God, it's
He's wearing the
2023.
chain after the game.
He's
wearing the chain. It's like, all right, okay.
I know the Eagles fans dug it, and I know it's a little bit of get off my lawn, but come on,
it's a total
man.
get off my lawn. And believe me, I'm the oldest guy in the room, and you cannot be evocative of Landry, Lombardi. You're going to go Newt Rockney on me. It's a different era, Larry, and we may not like it,
but his contemporaries are doing it.
When is the last time Steve Kerr ever mugged for the cameras? He's not sitting there making faces and dancing in front of the cameras.
Shaking,
Don't act like a clown,
It's an arrogant team, but you know what? I thought the Eagles got disrespected all last week. How many people picked the Giants to go into Philadelphia?
and win that
game?
How many?
They weren't even close.
I like the Giants to make it closer. It wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't even close. Eagles smoked them,
No.
and everybody put stock into that Week 18 game. Jalen was just trying to get his rhythm. They are so solid on both sides of the football. I didn't realize they had 70 sacks this year. Kansas City's number 2 in the league with 55 sacks.
It's crazy.
70 sacks
How
as a
great
team.
was that kid Bradbury?
Oh.
Forget kid, he's a veteran. But did you see him jump that route
Yep.
and get the pick? The Niners have thrown these soft passes. I can see Bradbury jumping a couple of their
Big
routes
play
next
Slay.
week.
Darius Slay.
Darius Slay,
Gardner Johnson.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah,
I mean, they got
him
a
and
hell of a
Kittle.
secondary.
Him and Kittle went at it in that New Orleans game a lot. Gardner Johnson likes to mix it up.
Oh, he's
Are you
physical.
in any more this week? Or, I mean, can you get off your chest your early Philly thoughts? Because we'll get into it today, 9 to noon. We'll talk, obviously, Niners and Dallas. And I know Mark's back in tomorrow for the rest of the week. But how concerned are you about Philadelphia?
Very concerned.
I mean, you talk about their two great wide receivers against a Niner secondary that had
Dallas
some
Goedert.
trouble last night.
To me, you know what really jumped out in that game is that Philly's offensive line
Is
right
incredible.
now. You got Lane Johnson who looks fresh. You got Kelsey who single-handedly threw the nose guard away with like one arm. He's just a total. He might be the best center in
and
football.
Lawrence is a stud, yeah.
Dexter Lawrence is
Dickerson, the
quiet.
Alabama kid at
Yeah.
left guard who went
Yeah.
out with the injury, he's gotten bigger, stronger, more physical.
Dallas Goedert is a good
Mailata's a
blocker. Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Philly's O-line is just, it's the best in the
Well,
game.
and their D-line's underrated.
Yeah.
Very.
Hargrave,
Fletcher
Fletcher
Cox
Cox.
is a monster.
Yeah.
Interior pressure kills the Niners. Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, etc. It's going
But
to be really tough.
Shanahan will crucify those linebackers.
He will. Those
That's
linebackers
the
are weak.
weakness of Philly's
Well,
D
remember
is the
week 2
linebackers.
last year in Philadelphia? It was a rock fight. They had the big play to Quez Watkins down the sideline. Tartan, Lenore, they hustle. They had the goal line stand. They go down the field before halftime and score. Jawan Jennings
Yeah.
after the big Debo play. But remember, Jimmy couldn't do anything. It was ugly early in that
was. Yeah.
football game.
Can I ask you guys about Fred Warner? Because we were talking about Fred Warner earlier. We think
Junior or senior?
he's the best.
Fred Warner Jr.
I love
My
that.
guy.
Senior
Like,
on Twitter. All the time.
Patrick
Okay,
Willis,
look at you.
I hold him in the highest regard, right? Like for a lot of reasons. And he was
So
a
do I. He doesn't eat pork, though, I found out last night.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
There you
like
go.
totally different kind of linebacker because the era was
I get it
different.
for
3-4,
sure.
taking on
cut it
fullbacks.
out.
It's just different. In this modern age, it feels like Fred Warner is completely undervalued by the casual fan. I know Niner fans love him. I'm saying just around the league, he is a stud, an absolute stud. I know Bosa gets all the headlines. I think we sleep on how great Fred Warner is.
Well, I think we sleep on how great the Niner linebackers are as a
Dre,
group.
yeah.
Aziz Al-Shaair had 7
He had a good
tackles
game.
yesterday.
That was the
breakup.
Greenlaw almost
Hey,
had a pick
Al
6.
Shire, I've been down on.
should've.
I think Shire has been a disappointment. I think by far yesterday was his best game as a Niner.
yes,
I mean, all those guys.
And
I mean,
Greenlaw only one personal foul yesterday, which was
that
kind
was
of
a tone setter, though.
Yeah.
It felt like it was a tone setter. I know that that's a stupid thing to say out loud, but it felt like it kind of like
That's
woke
very
everyone up.
Bill Romanowski of you. Sometimes you gotta
play of
take
the
a
game,
15,
in
okay?
my opinion, the biggest play of the game was Jimmy Ward, though, taking out Pollard.
So it was.
I mean, he took him out. He absolutely took him out.
well, and Pollard was their juice on offense. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb was really good
Right.
yesterday. Pollard is, when I saw Zeke come down, I was like, well, there goes their run game.
And there
Yeah.
goes their
Big old
play action
brace.
game. Exactly. So
Exactly.
defensively, now you got Zeke in there. You don't have to worry so much about the play action.
Again, every snap that Zeke got or every carry that he received was they wasted down in a win for the 49ers. He's got no more juice left.
No,
It's
got a
done.
huge brace on that knee.
Yeah.
Brace, even on that 1 yard short yardage where he almost stumbles.
The
It's like,
oldest,
oh, he's-
that's the oldest 27-year-old
Right.
player I think I've ever seen in my life.
They got a kid named Malik Davis in the Tennessee game when the Cowboys played Tennessee. I was like, man, Malik Davis got some juice because Pollard was out in that football game, and they gave a lot of carries to Malik Davis. Cowboys radios complained. They're like, what? How come you didn't give Malik more carries? Especially when Pollard went down. Zeke's done. I think that might be it for him.
That's seriously. I mean, he's 27. That's
That-
unbelievable.
Todd Gurley
I was just
how
going
many?
to say, Todd
how
Gurley.
many carries in college though? And
Yeah.
if you go
Right.
back to high
A
school
gajillion.
carries,
He's
got
if
a
you
ton of
add up
mileage.
all the carries in high school
A
and
gajillion.
college and in the pros, and you get north of like 2,000, it gets to be a little bit dicey.
Plus, like Todd Gurley, lots of partying off the field for Zeke Elliott.
not mad.
He's gotten a lot of partying. I'm just saying.
Just drop me the invite.
yeah, exactly.
You want to party with Zeke? I don't know about that one. He
Bonte
goes to
with a
those
flex
races.
earlier about doing shots with Gabrielle Union and Dwayne
Nah,
Wade.
yeah,
That's,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, that's all we need to know about the flex. Your boy.
The boy was flexing over here. Let's talk about. So going to Philadelphia, right? And
Are you guys
like,
going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We booked
So
our flights.
Shatsky, I started telling him, I was like, yo, people are telling me we shouldn't go in Niners gear. It's going to be rough.
No, you go in Niners
I'm
gear.
wearing my red coat.
Well, can we get
Go.
a media credential? Maybe we go to E40 Suite. I'm like, wait, you're already ducking out of me? You
No, I'm
invite
just-
yourself to E40 Suite?
You guys are going, huh? When,
Yeah.
when are you leaving?
Friday night,
After
red
the
eye.
show, okay.
Yeah,
After
red
Warriors
eye.
game.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Warriors game Friday night.
Warriors game.
You guys got to hit the Brazilian Steakhouse downtown there. They got an incredible Brazilian steakhouse.
What was that woman's marriage movie where they all went to the Brazilian steakhouse and got sick?
Oh,
That's why it was like it was. What was the name of that movie? Come on,
I don't know.
Bridesmaids?
Bridesmaids. Didn't they go to a Brazilian
Sam.
steakhouse and get sick?
Sounds about right.
Talking
Good movie,
Sam.
yeah.
Talking Sammy.
Sam
Just saw
Love it.
that.
I heard Ryan Leong, too, was running material up there. Huh?
I'm Ryan.
Yeah,
Leong.
Ryan and Sam, best buddies up there,
I
chatting
hooked me up with
away.
a seat up there, too. It was kind of
Yeah,
nice.
Hey, I got a
stood
text from
Sam,
Ryan Leong.
thanks.
He goes, hey, Sam Love me told me that you guys may want me on the show soon. Just let me know. I'll come on.
Tell Ryan we're ready for him today. 12:30.
I always see him in the parking lot at all the tailgates. Always.
He's a good dude.
He is.
It's too easy. It's too easy. I can't
Leave it alone.
jump
satin
in.
Leave it alone.
jackets.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
All right.
Fellas, have a great day,
Yeah,
man.
we
It's a
will, we
victory
will.
Monday
Hey,
here.
the Cowboys. How sweet does that feel?
How about them Cowboys?
Jerry
Jaski's
Jones
picture
all
on the
sad.
IG with sad cowboy fan in the background.
Oh, that
is
was
so
good.
perfect.
That was good
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. So
That was
great.
good stuff. All right.